Hello everyone and welcome back to Run It Up number 97. We are here today playing some 50-cent $1 no limit Texas Holdem on ultimatepoker.com. How are you doing? I've had a lovely little day. I'm excited. Today is going to be a good episode. I just have a feeling. We have a kind of a tough table though. We haven't really fought a lineup like this in a while, but two to our left is Spew Artist, who we've identified as probably a pretty good player. He's played a bunch of sessions with us recently and has played pretty well in all of them. So him having 3.5 times the buy-in for the table doesn't bode well. He's winning, feeling good. He's over there thinking he's the coolest kid in the block. He's got all the money. So we're going to probably have to play a little bit tighter than normal and perhaps make some other adjustments as well. But we'll get into all of that later. We're starting out today with $1,591 and a penny to boot. And hopefully we'll spin that up. It's been Turbo Week. We're midway through Turbo Week. I've only done 2 or 3 outside of the video sessions, and I believe I'm 0-3. So I've been playing well though. I don't know what to say. I'm trying my best. Not working out here. If you didn't see, yesterday I posted 2 videos though. I actually posted 2.5 hours of me playing poker, or at least me being around poker, yesterday. So if you didn't check that out, I posted a pretty awesome vid with Martin Campman. Martin was in my chair here making all the decisions, and I was the snarky commentator in the chair behind him. And we talked about a bunch of decisions that he made, and there could be some good learning opportunities and things you guys can pull from if you're looking to get better at poker, or you like UFC, you just want to hang out. That's a pretty cool video yesterday, so go check that out. My first ever live Running Up Apprentice, which I would actually like to do if you guys enjoyed that. I think it would be fun to do other kinds of people, maybe one of you guys down the road eventually, if you can make it in the hot seat. That's a lot of pressure though. I don't know if you guys are ready to be put in the big boy chair. We'll have to see, I suppose. But yeah, so that's all that was going on. And I also did a 2-hour live stream yesterday at on twitch.tv/jcarpoker, and I posted that on YouTube today. So if you haven't seen that yesterday, if you didn't see that yesterday or on Twitch yet, you can go over to YouTube right now, which you're on at the moment, and check that out. So that's pretty cool as well. That was a fun session and is reflected in our beautiful current balance. So I guess I'll be calling here. I raised, and this Few Artist is on that re-raising path. Pretty good flop for our opponent. 2, 2, and 4. Not what we're looking for with Jack 10 of diamonds. Like I said, I'm going to be opening pretty tight because I expect Few Artist to be really aggressive. He's the type that seems to 3-bet and not call on buttons, so we really can't be too loosey-goosey. But this hand, I think, is just a pretty straightforward. We raised, we called, and now we just check and fold. Didn't work out for us. This time. What can you say? So I'm really excited going to Jersey next week. That's not really why I'm excited, but I'm excited because I'm going and doing some fun things with some of you Running Up Warriors in Jersey next week. Yes, that's right. Flying out to Jersey. I don't know when, but sometime next week. And we're trying to do a bunch of like UFC trivia nights at bars in Jersey. So if you're in Jersey and want to win tickets to the UFC in Newark that weekend, or you want to come hang out with us, there'll be me, some other Ultimate Poker pros. We're doing a couple different events in Jersey, so if you want to come hang out, we'll be doing online stuff, live stuff, whole bunch of things. So if you want to come hang out and you're in Jersey or a neighboring area, come hang out, come say hello. We can have like a Run It Up, Meet It Up. Something like that. You can come hang out. And I have not forgotten of my promise that the week after we'll be doing something in New York with you guys as well. My cousins and sisters and brothers in Long Island. So that'll be happening as well. I'm excited about that. But that I don't have details on. But I will very soon have details as to where, when exactly. I believe next Friday in Hoboken is going to be one of them. So that's really all I know as of right now. But as I get more information, I'll let you guys know. It'll be fun. There'll be some cool things going on. So So yeah, there's that. Raise turn on the button with deuce 5 of puppy dog feet. Yes, it's obviously a little bit loose, but how bad could it be? We have a suited hand on the button. Given that we have the button, I think there's no reason not to raise. Not the best of flops for us, but we're only the 3 of clubs and the 4 of clubs away from having a straight flush, so there's always that. Let's see what Spew Artist wants to do here. My plan is probably to shut down on a variety of turn cards, but I'm going to be aggressive on some turn cards as well. In my experience, when he's tanked like this, he's typically folded. Looks like that is not the case this time, though. I believe that tanking might have actually indicated some amount of not being sure what to do. I believe that might be a legitimate, like he wasn't sure, like he had like an ace-3 or like a jack-10 sort of a hand and was debating between calling and folding. I'm not sure for real, though, what that is, and I think because our hand is just so poor, I'll just fold. I was debating doing something creative regarding, like, calling and maybe raising, but I think all of those things are roads that I'm not quite ready to go down just yet against this opponent, especially given that we had 5 high, but, who needs I'm not trying to show it down. It doesn't really matter what we have. I'm not trying to say, hey, these cards win. No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to say, hey, I've got something good. That's all I'm trying to say. So it doesn't really matter if we have a bad hand if we're not trying to show it down. But we have some outs. We could make a straight flush. It's not 0%. So yeah, I think that all makes sense. So my plan is, if you haven't emailed me yet your submissions for to join us in UFC 169 for the event in Newark, if you want to win a pair of tickets, you can send me an email, dearjcarver@gmail.com, with something creative and funny. Make me laugh. It could be just something awesome is all you have to do. I believe I've got enough of a sample size now that I'm going to start awarding tickets on Friday, and I'll have tickets to do things with all week next week as well. So I have 20 pairs to give away through Run It Up, and then I have another 5 pairs to do things with for my Twitter and stuff for while I'm in Jersey. So yeah, it should be awesome. Looking forward to that. We're going to all hang out. There'll be 50 run-up warriors in a section. How cool is that? I think that's going to be pretty awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll all get together, hang out. Hopefully Uriah will win, because I would like Uriah to win. And then Jose Aldo will win. Sure, fine, whatever. Frank Mir, Alistair Overeem is fighting. That's going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to that fight a lot. I think Alistair will probably crush Frank, but hey, if he doesn't, all the more entertaining. And I think I'm looking forward to it. I personally want Frank Mir to win purely so that we have a reason for Brock to come out of retirement to then come and fight Frank, and then that'd be perfect. It would be perfect. Frank Mir wins. If Brock comes back, they fight. It would be great. How could it not be perfect? I think that's what I want to see. That's my vote for the fight that I want to see for like 4th of July weekend here in Vegas. That would be sweet. Jack 5 of spades here in the big blind. Probably going to be defending this. Yes, he raised quite a bit, but we have Jack 5. How do I fold? I can't. I call. Let's just do that. Haven't seen either of these guys before. Mondo Kane, a name that I quite like. I like that name quite a bit. I was going to name Turbo Week Mondo Week, and then I was like, no one knows what Mondo means. Maybe people do know what Mondo means. All right, let's see 3 dealer. That was a pretty good 3 to see. Gonna start with a check. If he bets, I'll raise. If he calls, rather if he checks, I suppose we'll be doing the betting ourselves on turn and potentially the river. Okay. $6. I could have made it $5. I suppose $5.50 would have maybe where I want to be, but once he checks back on this flop, he's very likely either got a hand that's like a 10 or an 8 or just not very good. So very often a bet in the turn will get him out of here with whatever the nonsense that he has. All right, sorry about that. Apparently I was streaming as I was recording this, so if you were following me on Twitch, you got to see 10 minutes of this video prior to the rest of you all, but I don't think you guys missed anything here while that was all going on. I apparently had the same button that I had for starting the stream on vMix. I have also now. I was playing with my streaming settings earlier today, and apparently I set the same button to start the stream as to start the recording, which is not what I intended on doing. So sorry we missed like an orbit of hands there as I sorted all that out. I bet this turn card here because I felt like we were going to bet a lot of scary river cards, and this definitely would qualify as one of them. Obviously, I think he's calling here with almost any pair above like a 9, maybe even a 6. Because there are so many draws we could have that miss here. You know, there are so many hands, like ace deuce of diamonds. There. I couldn't even name all the hands that we could have here. But I think he'll fold here often enough if he just has like ace high. He could definitely have like even a hand as good as ace king and fold here. But looks like we're probably not winning this hand. I do not think 2 jacks are going to fold. My hope is that he'll fold ace king. My hope is that he'll fold ace king. And then, like, you know, other hands that are better than 5 high. I'm not hoping he folds 2 jacks there. All right. So, here we are. Back at the grind. So, I don't know what I was talking about prior to me realizing we were on stream for this whole time. Sorry, it happens. What am I going to say? It is what it is, you know? At least, I actually wouldn't mind streaming the show by default. I was considering doing that, but I don't know if I can, like, promise that I could stream every time. It even wouldn't have been that big of a deal if I streamed the Run Up Live, except the only issue is that I'd have to cover up the whole cards, which is a relatively big issue. So I don't actually know how I could do that and then leave the whole cards in, but I guess I could do like a 10-minute delay, and I could do that. It's something to actually think about for me in the future. I would actually not be against it, but for now, we will just try to do some old school running it up. We're at 96. It's been 6 months almost of running it up. Not quite 6 months. We started in the end of July. So we're not quite there yet, but it's been a long time. We've been on that grind for a pretty decent while. Someone in the stream chat just said, "I can't believe I just left a date early because I thought there was going to be a stream tonight." There's no stream. I didn't announce the stream. It was a misclick. I'm sorry. If that was a real thing, I'm sorry. Maybe you're just trolling, but apologies nonetheless. Hey, good to know that I can pull at least a couple dozen people with just an accidental stream. Everyone got so excited too. I'm not even sure if you could see the right screen because I have 2 monitors. One is the production monitor, and then the other one is the play. But that's why I'm not really sure what screen was the one that you guys are pulling from. Probably pulling from the other one, but hey, it could have been substantially more embarrassing if I wasn't recording at all. That would have been way worse, and I might not have known if I didn't have the Twitch thing chopped up, the Twitch chat separated. So let's go back to this and try to see if we can win some money here. In this hand, this guy opened and we called. I thought there would be a decent chance our opponent would just check fold here with a hand that was like, maybe he has a hand even as good as like 2 4s. A hand as good as like ace jack maybe could fold, ace 3, something in that realm I thought might fold. I think at this point, I'm actually going to do something I don't always do. I'm going to bet a smaller amount. I'm just trying to represent like 8-9, 6-5. I'm really just trying to get him to fold no pair here. If he just check called flop and said, okay, let's see a safe turn card, I don't think, or let's see like a brick turn card or have our opponent stop, if I can speak English, or have our opponent stop being the aggressor, or stop aggressing, so to speak. So I thought there was a pretty decent chance that our opponent would fold to a turn bet there. And I didn't think we had to bet too much either, because if we call pre-flop, bet a lot on turn, the kinds of hands that we would play that way are relatively limited compared to the hands where we would call flop, call pre, bet reasonable on flop, and then bet like reasonably on turn. So I think that we have to kind of like tell the story of like, if we had 8-9 or 6-5, would we bet 12 on the turn? Probably not. You'd probably bet a little bit smaller. And I also think that the kinds of hands that will fold for 9 are probably also folding for 12, probably, but will also fold for 9. So we're just saving $3 when it doesn't work. So that's why I thought we should bet a little bit smaller there, a little bit something different than normal. It's normal. It's all normal. I'm bluffing, of course. It's normal. I have nothing and I'm bluffing. That's welcome to Run It Up. That's what we do here. So I'm not planning on defending this. We did see this guy a bunch as well, but I don't really feel like I have a great read on him. I think he's like solid, but every once in a while, I think he's done things that have just like left me with my eyebrow raised, so to speak. That's right. Just as smooth as you just saw. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, no, I don't really have any great reads on him, but I feel like he's done a couple things that have been a little bit bizarre from time to time. Folds to us here. I'm planning on calling. If this guy raises, if he min raises, maybe I'll call, but I think anything else, then I will not. I call. 50 cents in the machine. Pretty good flop for us. Not a flop that is going to give our opponent too good of a hand very often. 10 high is probably not the best hand, but hey, anything is possible. Could have been the best hand for sure. Only stuck $17. No big deal. Ain't no thing. Ain't no thing. Hopefully we'll do some work here. Try to do some running it up. That is the whole point of the show, all in all. Now my timer is all off. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I have no idea how far I've been doing this video. Who even knows what's going on? I guess worst case scenario, this video is a little bit not what I think it is time-wise. I did put out 2.5 hours of video today. So there is that. Technically, even more because you guys got to watch 10 minutes of real stream on top of the 2.5 hours of real, unintentional stream, I should say, instead of 2.5 hours of other stuff. So sorry about that. Sorry for all of you that came to the stream, got all excited, and then just to find out that I didn't even know I was streaming. But it's fine. It's good. What does that say about my life? That I don't even know when I'm streaming, and I'm still at least a relatively entertaining stream, But yes, thankfully we didn't just get super used and owned for 30 minutes because, boy, that would have been embarrassing. That would have been sad. Oh, geez. Wow, he calls me with king high? Wow, what a genius this guy must be. Wow, they just know every time. It's so weird. It's as though they could see the cards almost. Glad we avoided that sadness. Fold? Yeah, still got to play pretty tight. I've been making a lot of tighter folds here because Spew Artist is going to put a lot of pressure on us. So, not that this is a thing I'd even open normally, but, we folded Ace 10, we folded Jack 10. We got to be a little bit on the tighter side with Spew Artist behind us. I mean, I would honestly tell you that, clearly this game is fine and good, and if I was, trying to play poker to make income, I think this is a fine game to play. That being said, it certainly isn't, like, the best game to play, and if I was tilted or steaming or something happened, or if I had, like, an alternative option to go and do something else tonight, like, if I was a professional poker player and this was, like, the table that I had to play for the night or something, like, this is the kind of table that I if I wasn't playing my absolute, like, A game, I would just be like, all right, what are you missing out on? Like, what's my hourly rate at this table? Is it $5 an hour where it's normally 10? It could be like, it's not an enormous deal to pass this up for something that gives me like the happiness EV of $5 an hour. And I actually think that there's a lot of ways to look. I think that mindset helps often in making decisions where if you say, okay, look, there's for me at least, when it's come to like poker tournaments, when you look at things like, let's say there's a tournament in Florida and there's a $5,000 buy-in tournament in Florida, and so yeah, there's a $5,000 buy-in tournament in Florida, and the average time that I would spend in that tournament, if I played it 1,000 times, I would probably average to spend 10 hours in that tournament, right? If it's a normal tournament. So 10 hours, something like that. So over the course of those 10 hours on average, and that includes the times that I win and play for 4 days. So over the course of all that time, let's say the tournament is like really good. So let's say I'm making 100% return on my investment. So I'm in for, we said it was a 5K. So it's a $5,000 buy-in tournament, and I make 100% ROI. So I'm making $5,000 by playing this tournament. And my average hourly rate in playing this, my average hourly investment in playing this tournament is 10 hours. So I'm making $500 an hour by playing. Okay, that's not bad if that's true. If that is true, and those numbers are all really optimistic, and that is possible, then yeah, that's great. However, my entire time invested into the thing that's not the end result, right? Because there's a bunch of different implications here. There's the implication of the expenses of going to Florida. Very often in Florida, particularly, hotel rooms are more expensive, flights are more expensive. So maybe there's $2,000 in expenses. Okay, so now I'm only making $3K, and then you go, okay, but are there other days where you're going to go and I'm not going to be able to do other things? So like I'm in Florida, that means I'm not doing things in Vegas. So what do I lose for that? And then you break down through all the real variables and all the things that you're catching up on. Also look at like what am I losing in terms of like hours that I'm spending in Florida that I'm not spending on work projects here that I'm gonna then have to refine. So if you really break it down, and then of course the ultimate chop, which is taxes on top of everything else, which is not necessarily a thing that matters because you can be taxed on everything. So, but it is still a true thing that your hourly rate does get impacted by that as well. So you break it down and you look at it and you're like, is it really worth going to this place to make $1,000 versus if I really want to make $1,000, I could do it in many other ways here. So yeah, that's the kind of like the decision making process lens that I use a lot for decision making, including tournament stuff, obviously, because I don't like wasting my time if I can help it in spots that are just silly. So here we bet flop, our opponent called. I think I'm actually going to just check back. I think our hand is like poor enough that he doesn't fold better, doesn't call with worse, and I think I'm going to just check back and make some decisions on river, but lean towards not folding. I guess actually maybe I should call, but I don't know. It really depends what he bets, how long he takes. Like, how in the world does this guy have a hand that is, like... He could have a hand that's a little bit better than us. He could have, like, 10-8. Could have, like, Queen-8. I don't think he has a king too often, but if he has a 4, he's probably calling, but he doesn't probably have too many of those. Or, like, pocket 5 types of hands, you know? I definitely was suspicious that we had the best hand, but I didn't feel comfortable enough to bet. It's one of those spots where I think that people make very divergent decisions on turn and river. Like, I think if you let the hand play out, if you offered that scenario to 10 people, you'd probably get 6 different lines. You know, I think that's the truth of that situation. If you showed Phil Galfond, maybe Phil Galfond bets turn. If you show Daniel Negreanu, maybe Daniel Negreanu checks back flop. Like, I think that hand you'll get a pretty wide variety of answers on. But I think we played it okay. Hard to say what's best because we don't know our opponent really well. And to really know your opponent, to know their tendencies, you have to play them for way longer than we've played this guy. So don't know those tendencies well enough at this point to really say for sure. But we're only stuck $1.53, so things are looking up. That's right. We're looking on up here. Team running up. Spew Artist on the attack again. Tunact. I might not have got the memo yet that Spew Artist is kind of spewy. Not necessarily even spewy, but he's definitely aggressive. But I think he's a good aggressive. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. When he calls here in this spot, it's kind of interesting, right? So we've seen him react to our opens with 3-bets far more often than with calls. So I would be inclined to believe that this means he's more likely to be moderately strong or weak than he is to be strong. Because I would think that if he's strong, we're going to hear about it on preflop pretty often. If he's re-raising with a wide variety, if he's re-raising often, he's probably not flatting with super strong hands. Just saying. So I'm going to think here for a little while and then call in position. Don't think there's any other reason to do anything else. Hopefully Spew Artist will fold because I would prefer to run this hand 2 ways than 3 ways. But it's pretty much fine with me either way. I'm happy to run it 3 ways as well. Our hand play is fine in a 3-way pot. Real fine. Real fine in a 3-way pot. So we're going to war here, kids. Got all the blue cards you could ever want. Well, maybe we could want one more. So $55 in the pot already. I mean, we could raise to something smaller, and then, there's really no reason to do that though. We're just going to go all in. Don't think there's really any reason to do anything, but I'm all in. Spew Artist, thinking about it. What does that mean? We might need some help, boys. I think we might need some blue cards. Or maybe tens. This guy must have an overpair because we're getting WTF in chat box. I hope he calls. We really want him in there with kings. Especially if Spew Artist has a set. Alright, we're going to need the blue card, boys. One more blue card. Oh, I'm asking for it here. Nope, that's not it. 4 of a kind? Oh, is that all? Alright. Well, this was a sad little run out there. Saved. Yeah. He must have had no repair. But yeah, I mean, nothing we can do there, of course. That's certainly a cooler city for us when we just, flop top pair and a flush draw against the set. So nothing to be done there in a 3-bet pot. I feel like we were pretty close to right with him being strong but not super strong pre-flop with 2 9s there. And yeah, I think our hand, despite that we lost $100 there, I feel pretty good about how we played that hand all in all. I think I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I feel like I got that right. Hey, I made a read. I made one read right at least. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think we played our hand pretty well all in all. Just obviously didn't work out for us. There's really nothing you can do about that besides get the money in and pray for a blue card. I feel like we're always on diamond flush draws. I feel like way more so than, I don't know. I feel like if you took all the blue flush draws we had over the course of our run-up life, I don't know. I wonder if we've made a higher or a lower than expected amount of them. I don't know for sure. I was going to say that I thought we were slightly under expectation for blue flushes, but I don't know. That's could just be gambler's bias because we just didn't make this one. Going to raise it up here. $2 seems fine. If we got deeper, I would definitely start making it $3 against 2 guys that are so deep, but we're still at 100, so I think min raising is all right. $2.50 fine, $3 fine. I think all of these decisions are relatively inconsequential. And we win a sweet $1.50 back. That's right. That's right. Who's excited, kids? All right. Ace and 6. So stuck 100. We're gonna have a little bit of work to do. It's kind of, I guess, like kind of a tough table here with Spew Artist behind us. So not thinking that we're gonna get too many great spots, but hopefully we make one more pair and a flush draw in a 3-bet pot. Is all I ask for. One more pair and a flush draw. Let us run that. I mean, when he shoves, obviously we're really concerned. He either has like a strong combo draw, which we're like sweating, or he has a set or 2 pair, which we're sweating. There's never a scenario where he shows up with or rarely a scenario where he shows up with a hand who's like getting completely crushed. But obviously we can't adjust for Spew Artist because we're playing against a guy who very likely seems to have queens or better. And that hand is fine. I can run that hand down any day. Although we wouldn't have then either. We wouldn't have run down very much in that spot. But, yeah, there we go, all in all. So I've been doing a lot of ranked 5s lately. I've been playing a bunch of ranked 5 lately. It's become my new pastime that I've got a couple of friends that I've been playing ranked 5s with. I'm really excited to do a run it up ranked 5s at some point. It's season 4. We should do it. But I don't know how to qualify people for it. How do I pick? It's whoever wants to play. I feel like you have to be silver. That should be the first requirement. I feel like you have to be you have to be silver or gold. I think if you're plat or better, you're gonna weigh the team down too much. It's gonna be way too skilled. Maybe you can be a coach. That's what I need. I need I actually am very open to some sort of not necessarily challenger, but a diamond or plat coach. Okay, I'd be happy to find a spot for someone like that on the team. Sure, or even just for me, I could use a general coach. There are a couple guys that have offered me help before, and a couple guys who have helped me before, and that's been awesome. But no one's really been helping me a ton these days. So if someone out there loves poker or loves League of Legends only slightly less than they love poker, let me know if you're pretty good at League of Legends and not a douche, because that doesn't work for me. That don't fly for me. That don't fly for me, I'm afraid. So, yeah, let me know. In this very hand, we defended pre-flop with 9-6 suited. Our opponent checked back on turn. I don't really believe that there are too many hands better than ours that he will fold at this point, so I believe I'm going to check, and he hasn't bluffed in other spots, and to be honest, like, this board is so connected at this point that I think we just fold. We'll have often enough, we'll have kings or jacks or straights, or having a 9 here in this spot. Having a bad 9 at that, I think, is just not going to win often enough. I think we just have to fold. If the river was like a 4, we would have a whole different conversation. But I think the 10 is like one of those cards where we're like, all right, I guess we're not winning the pot here, especially against a guy who I perceive to be a little bit more passive. I think there was a spot in this video, in fact, where we checked him and he didn't bluff. So I think if that's the case, then the fact that he is betting now probably means that we need to get on that believe him wagon. I'll just trail off. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'll just trail off by myself. No big deal. Probably going to play for a couple more orbits. I know the video is going to be a little bit shorter, but honestly, I don't even know how much shorter than usual. But it'll be fine. If you've caught up on the hour and 45-minute stream, Martin's video, and this video, and you have nothing else left to do, post a hand on my wall. Post a hand on my wall and say, I'm ready, Jay Carver. Come on. I'm caught up. Hey, I don't know what to tell you. If you're caught up, you're caught up. I can't, it's giving you so many hours, 5 hours a week. It's all I can do. Watch some documentaries, expand your mind a little bit. That's my recommendation to you. I should make a bet that I can't say in a video, because it tilts me a lot. It doesn't really tilt me a ton because I think it has a place from time to time. If I say, you know what I mean, I think that's okay. But too often I've used it as like the last of my speech crutches. Last of my speech crushes. Yeah, that's right. I got this thing for the word, Oh my God, he's so cute. Yeah, that's what it is. What is going on in this video? This has been a bizarre video. I mean, a little bit more bizarre than usual, at least. I think it's all because of the fact that I was streaming for the first half of it, and everyone's like panicking that I'm going to give away the run at a bankroll. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, everyone's really upset right now. And they're like, oh, they're upset because they're watching me. Oh. Oh, okay. And from there, I don't even know what happened. This is like the lost, swampy episode. That's it. I don't know what happened here. The plane didn't quite take off. We're back on the tarmac. It just never went anywhere. It was a bad sign. We should have just wrapped it at that point and just been like, sorry, everybody. We're not running it up today. The plane didn't make it quite off the tarmac. We're going to just refuel. Be back tomorrow for more. You would understand. It happens. We would have saved $100. I'm sorry. This is a very good re-raise from our friend Blue Elephant here, putting Spew Artist right in that cage. That's right. Get out of here. I re-raise. $23. Perfect sizing, too. Very young internet pro. Hipster sizing. 2.3 times your raise size. I love it. I think it's very strong. I think it's a thing you see more often in tournaments because when you re-raise in spots like that, people can't really take into effect the math because they're threatening your whole stack to some degree, and you don't really want to get yourself into marginal situations where you're playing, for all the chips or however many chips you're playing with your tournament life on the line, with marginal hands. People don't tend to like that, even though I believe that there's a lot of mistakes to be made, mistakes that are made in short stack situations like that. Like, I think very often people, maybe not so often these days, but in the last 3 or 4 years, there are so many situations where I've seen people raise to, let's say the big blind is 5,000, somebody raises to 10,000, somebody else re-raises to 25,000, let's say, and then the first guy re-raises to 47,000. And the other guy folds. I just laugh. What are you folding? What are you folding? You have to call 22K to win 85. You're getting 3.5 to 1. What cards are you re-raising and then folding to? It just doesn't make any sense. And plus sometimes they have position. It's crazy talk. It's like our running up spinoff. Crazy talk. We should have shot an episode of Crazy Talk today. Is what we should have done. But yeah, I think that I don't know. That seems like a mistake people make a lot. And in cash, that really should never happen because as long as you have mathematically the right price, there's no other variables to really consider, right? I mean, there's plenty of variables to consider, but stack size threatening your tournament life is not one of them, which is the biggest threat at a tournament situation. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why people don't call, because they want to put in 25K when they only have 150. Well, why'd you re-raise in the first place? Dumbass. All right, it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Probably play for one more orbit and they'll wrap it up. I think we've been playing for 40 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't know. Very tough to know for sure. But we'll play for one more orbit and wrap it up. Call it a video. A little bit of a shorter video than usual, but still we've put out plenty of poker stuff this week. I'd love to stream one more time this week, for real stream and not a fake stream. But maybe we can stream again on. I can't stream tomorrow, which is Thursday. Maybe we can stream Friday's show. I wouldn't be against that. We could stream Friday afternoon sometime. Maybe like 3 p.m. Friday stream. How about that? 3 p.m. my time Friday. Early enough that you Europeans can join us finally. Okay. I like that idea. It's the date. I'm going to raise it up to $3 here because few artists is sitting out, so I don't see why not. All right. I shall write that down. Don't make people mad. 3 p.m. on 3 p.m. Friday. All right. 3 p.m. Friday is the stream. We stole the blinds one last time. Let's take a look and see what we have here. Well, we lost $106 off that, so we're down to like $14.96 or $14.86. Math is hard. We're down to like $14.85, and yeah. So we didn't run it up today. That's the true thing. We didn't run it up. We definitely didn't run it up today, but I think we played okay. And really, the entire thing came down to the Jack 10 Diamond hand, which is totally standard, really. And if you even remove that hand from the session, we pretty much break almost exactly even. There really wasn't a lot of that happened in this particular video, but hopefully you enjoyed. And either way, we'll be back with more tomorrow. And maybe we won't start off this time with a stream. Maybe we won't. Maybe we will. You'll have to tune in to find out. See you guys back for more tomorrow. Peace.